people use Photoshop for different things. Some use it for photography, some use it for painting, some use it for creating and coloring comic strips. Others might use it for graphic design, desktop publishing, or motion graphics. And we've seen that under the window menu, there are all kinds of panels. The ones with the check marks are the ones that I have open and are visible. And a lot of these panels I don't have open because I don't simply use them, or I might use them at one time or another depending on what I'm doing. So there are panels for working with text for characters and character styles, as well as paragraph and paragraph styles. For motion graphics, there's a timeline. I find the history panel to be very helpful in stepping backwards. I'm going to redo something or go back to a previous state. And there are panels for making settings of different tools, such as brush settings and brushes. So which panels you have open might be determined by what you are trying to accomplish. There's also a Workspace sub menu here under Window, and by default we have an Essential Workspace. That's what I currently have open here. But there's also a Workspace for graphic and web. In fact, if I choose that, you'll notice my panels over on the right hand side changed. I can also choose one for motion, and now I'm going to get the timeline at the bottom in different panels on the right. Here's one for painting, and another one for photography and improving our photographs. I'm going to go back to the Essentials, which is my default. Notice that there are also options here to reset, create a new, and delete. And we can also modify our keyboard shortcuts and menus and lock our workspace so it can't be changed accidentally. So for our Practicum project, I'll go back to the window menu and choose the Essentials default workspace. And then go back to that workspace menu and choose Reset Essentials. So we're all looking at the same thing. Now I'm working with Photoshop 25.4 version. Yours might be slightly different, and things could look a little bit different, but essentially you're going to have a group of panels up at the top for color, swatches, gradients, and patterns, and then another grouping of properties, adjustments, and libraries, and then the third grouping is layers, channels, and paths. So we're going to modify this and create our own workspace that fits maybe our style of working. And you can do this, you can create as many workspaces as you like for different aspects of how you might want to use Photoshop. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the patterns panel from the top. I'm just going to grab it, drag it out, so we can move these panels around, and I'm going to click the little X in the upper right to close it. Next I'm going to take the swatches panel. There's a tab up here at the top for swatches. I'm going to grab that and drag it to the left so it's to the left of color. So now I have swatches, color, and gradients in that top panel group. Next, I want to remove the libraries. So remember how we did that? Click the Libraries tab, drag it over, and click the Close button, that little X in the upper right hand corner. I want to add another panel here to Properties and Adjustments, and that's going to be the Info panel. So I'm going to go to Window and choose Info to open it. So that opens it here on this collapsed bar, but it's extended out. I'm simply going to grab the tab and drag it over to that second or middle grouping, and now it's to the right of Adjustments. I'm going to move it over so it is between Properties and Adjustments. We're going to leave the layers, the channels, and the paths as they are. So I want to make sure that the Info is the default tab, one that's currently selected, layers, and swatches. And now we want to save this workspace. So I'm going to go to the Window menu, Workspace, New Workspace. And I originally taught this lesson at the Erie County Community College in Pennsylvania. So I'm going to name mine ECC PA. We didn't change any keyboard shortcuts or menus or the toolbar, so I'm just going to say Save. Let's go to the Window menu, go to Workspace. Let's go to the Painting Workspace. Notice how everything changed. And then we're going to go back to Workspace, and my ECCPA is up at the very top. I'm going to choose that, and I'm back to my own workspace. All of the workspaces that you create will be located in the top section of the submenu for workspaces. If you want to get rid of a workspace, you can choose Delete Workspace, and you can choose the workspace you want to get rid of. Now I can't delete the active workspace, so I can't delete the ECCPA unless I go to a different workspace first. Now I want to copy this workspace into an image. And so on the Windows side, I'm going to do a window key print screen that copies my whole screen. Now I'm going to go to the File menu and choose New. I'm going to select Clipboard as the dimensions for my new image. I'm just going to say Create. And then I'm going to paste. This is going to paste what's in the memory onto that clipboard. And I've got a little extra space outside of my workspace environment as far as the windows. So I'm going to take my rectangular marquee, and I'm going to create a rectangular selection of my window. So dragging it from the bottom right to the top left, I'm going to click and get the marching ants. And now I can go to the image menu and choose crop. I'm going to go to the File menu and choose Save As. And we're going to save this as a JPEG file. You might have to choose Save As Copy. I'm going to choose JPEG or JPG. It's going to be a .jpg ending. And I'm going to name this AO1, your last name, and Workspace. And I want to put that into a folder. Now I have a folder set up for week 1. And I'm going to click Save. For JPEGs, we can choose some options as far as the quality. 7 or 8 is usually a good choice. I'm going to leave it at 7. The higher the number, the larger the file size will be, but the lower the number, the less quality it will be. And then you can submit that JPEG to your instructor using whatever directions they have given you for submission. That's our first Practicum project. If you'd like to see more videos in the Photoshop Practicum playlist, click the title at the bottom. If you'd like to be alerted to new videos, please click my photo in the top right to subscribe to the channel.